Good afternoon, people. It's Tuesday, August 13th, 2019, 2:27 p.m. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Kind of want to use this time to touch up on bossmanship. Kind of give an overview summary of what we've talked about in the previous podcast up until this point. We're in the middle of transitioning from one leadership to another leadership in terms of generation. A good deal of this life has been built and created upon one shoulders of a previous generation. The data shows it. The people that it will affect shows it. There's a great deal of our economy's wealth and a great deal of our economy and society's contributors are entering retirement. When we talk in terms of sustainability, what's retirement is met, we look at life expectancy. Average life expectancy. There's a realization factor that a good majority of our baby boomers' lives and what they stood for and built upon will be not only transitioned to leadership, but into that inevitability of death. So the question to the baby boomers, what legacy are you going to be leaving behind? With what you've done, what you've created, what you've built, what do you want and what will you be leaving behind? There's pioneers, there's people to be inspired by in every industry known to man. There have been great marks on this planet by certain individual people. What kind of legacy are you going to leave behind? And to my people that are here, what I believe in, what I call our bosses that stand in the role of bossmanship are those that carry on legacies. There's a certain sector of people that are made up of that bossmanship material. But once you step into bossmanship, you have to know who you are as a person. You have to know what's in the way. You have to know the vision. You have to know a goal. And you have to really be in contact with the purpose. Continuing of humanity is the overall purpose. When you wake up, get dressed, go to work, punch in your clock to get paid, it's to live. It's to survive another day. We're already in that mode of survival. Now we need to take it up a notch and allow our consciousness to rise to that level of survival. What's sustainable to you? How do we make it more sustainable? As you grow into that bossmanship of enlightenment, being in control of thoughts and action, you do it around you, whether it be your kids, whether it be education and teaching, or whether it be in an industry that you work in, training someone. It's information worth passing. We've gotten away from what is required to elevate as human beings. There's so much on top of the shell before you even get to those layers to pull them back that people aren't willing to dig through. We've got to get deep, people. Bitterness is going to be that big block. Why are you bitter? Why are you allowing information to inspire you? What are you contributing? Does 25 years, is that important to me? to my coaches, football season, that's tomorrow. Those kids that you're engaging with to continue that love of competitiveness or to leave a mark on tomorrow, we have to remember how we talk to these kids. The direction we motivate them, it sticks. What direction are we coaching these kids? What will be our greatest impact in 25 years? The kids that we're coaching. What kind of impact do we want to leave? We need to really get behind a direction. In my 80s babies, we set that direction. Individual success is amazing, but to be able to contribute to your culture, your tribe, and your nation, that's supreme. That's bossmanship. Nation building, tribe building is so key as you're identifying who you are as a person. You want to know where you've come from. You want to know why you have this as a moral issue. You want to know why you're lacking in this area. Once you identify that you weren't taught these things, and a good majority of the people in your tribe weren't probably taught these things, only a boss stands up to want to advance his tribe in that direction of improvement. We need more of those. Now is the time more than ever to do it. We want to continue on what works for our country. We want the minds in position to not continue on what we don't want. The politicians aren't going to be able to do it for us, people. You have to. You need to know who you are, what you stand for, and why you stand for it. Or you'll fall for anything, people. You'll fall for any direction. And then we'll sit back and start complaining and pointing the finger. We're working on a big vision, people. We feel like we've got a solution. There's a lot of people that are running from this inevitability of unity within tribe. There's no way we unify in our country if we cannot unify in our tribe. If our tribe can't hold one another accountable to the ultimate goal, and that's progression of humanity. A politician's not going to do that. All they're going to do is divide you. Well, really, to make you believe that there is a divide, and truly there is no divide. That's really the issue. Is we're looking at other people's issues that we have and blaming it on them. It's not an outside issue, people. I'm telling you, and the deeper that you grow, the more that you get your hands into growing as a person and moving that bitterness out of the way, you'll identify that we are the cause to our problems. You are the cause to your problems. We need serious nation tribe building right now in America. We need serious nation direction in America. Period. We've tried all these other options and maps. Now, me speaking from a black man's perspective in America, when have we been able to drive the Cadillac, black people in America? Who are we or people to drop behind that? Are we sober enough to get behind the wheel and whip the lag and drive the Cadillac? Everybody's driven the Cadillac but us, America. Black America. We've got to come together, just like other nations, and talk about it. What do we want to move forward? Just because the baby boomers generation didn't do it doesn't mean that's not the option we need to have or don't have or take upon. It don't mean that's not the best option for us. If it's a middle class issue, if it's a poverty issue, people in poverty, people in middle class need to have this discussion. Once that discussion is completed, people in political positions need to have that discussion. Boom. So we need to develop a whole new constituency. How do we build a whole new different constituency if we've got a bunch of egos in the way? A bunch of me-my's in the way? It takes a boss to look, people. If we build a new constituency, we don't need no one that's not a boss on that constituency administrative department. We don't need anybody in that vision at all. I'll tell you, we all share the same vision, and that's to live. That's why you work. That's why you breathe. That's why you prepare and plan. Sustainability is all about that. Each tribe needs to individually talk about their sustainability methods and efforts. Here's my attempt for my tribe. It encompasses a lot of different things and avenues. Geological location will determine some of these sustainability ideas. How do we know that's going to happen if we don't talk about it? How do we know what area it is if we don't talk about it? How do we not know what we stand on if we don't believe in something? There's a Chinese culture nation. There's a Middle Eastern culture nation. There's a Hispanic culture nation. There's all these different individuals, culture, and nations that come from and stand on something that's morally connected to their tribe. There's a lot of different mixed American nations that does not have a direction, that does not have a moral understanding to their direction in life. One unified unity culture nation with one vision is what we're missing. Why don't we just go ahead and stamp it as survival? Duh, that's what we work for. Some want to survive comfortably, and some want to just survive. We know we want to survive. Time to talk about it. But it takes a boss to look. I'm out.